Off here with our Isaac Nelson Designs Deegan Danger Zone.
Good ride, man.
Dude, he looked really good.
Really
the one
good.
thing that I was impressed with is how he was able to. He was just turning that bike wherever he wanted.
Yeah,
just cutting in and out of under stuff. And
you find it funny how when they get away from the Star facility, they get really good.
Now he goes rides with Kenny.
So that's another thing that I think is
They did
really,
some one-on-one stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, one-on-one stuff.
So are they paying him for that, or how's that all that working?
Great question. I have no
Probably.
idea. I will tell you what. I've been getting pictures sent to me by fans. So thank you all who are sending that since the day he got there and started posting them on his Snapchat.
Definitely don't think.
I think that's a very. I like that though. Like I think that is very smart. Like those are the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how to have a relationship with those guys and figure out how to go learn from
that
them.
banger he put going through the whoops there at Sandbox.
Wow, it looks
That
like he
was
spent some
fast.
time with Kenny learning how to go through
look,
whoops.
look what it did for Vial and Kitchen going and riding with Chase and Kenny.
So that brings up a fun point. So I put some feelers out when this happened. I was firing off DMs and texts like, this is interesting. And most people were pretty coy. But one thing I did find out is that one person did tell me, well, you know, it's really interesting because I heard part of the reason Kitchen left is because he didn't want to be around the Deegans. And so I wonder how that conversation went of, hey, he's coming to Sandbox.
He wasn't
to
there
ride.
riding that day. 'Cause I
Yeah.
saw a comment on one of Roxon's pictures or something, and
Yeah.
Kitchen was like, "Oh, you replacing me already?" or something.
Oh, they are. Oh, dude, they have been real. His whole camp, anybody affiliated with Levi, they have really leaned into the whole "we are not Deegan people."
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
One of his people actually went on Gypsy and was talking about that, like blowing the whole situation out, like
Who was it? Which
I
gypsy
don't-
was it?
fucking like earlier, like last week. Some dude, I don't know the guy's name. I don't pay attention to Levi's group, but the guy was talking about it. He's like, yeah, like that was the reason why I left. He's not about that life.
Yeah, which doesn't surprise me.
That's why that Cowie thing's gonna get interesting.
But hey, man, like Deegan rode great. Like he did what he had to do
He looked good. That's it. That I will stamp that as a legitimate win.
for sure.
Yep, I
For sure.
had that in my
Finally
notes.
got its legitimate
no
win off.
asterisks on this
That was a
one.
legit win, man. He did what he had to do. Got a
Whole
start,
shot
straight away.
and ran away,
And he managed it there for a little bit. He was smart when McAdoo was closing. Like
and
he
then he went farther. Like he pulled that
Oh,
gap.
he looked really good. And
4-second win.
now the injury is healed.
Mm-hmm.
no more excuses. Not
more excuse.
whatever.
So when does
The interview wasn't bad.
Look, there's two ways we go here. We're either in the danger zone or thank God we're here.
What were you about to say though?
When does the video drop with all the footage and stuff from the injury?
If he wins the championship.
That's what you think it is? You don't think
If
we
he
see it
doesn't,
before that?
if he doesn't win the championship,
It gets
which I
dropped
still,
as this was what
I think
cost me.
I think that's an off-season thing.
and I don't think he's gonna win the championship. So
I don't know.
Well, I think that's after SMX because I think their narrative now, since he's the new guy coming in and he's bringing the young fan base in, where
Is the
they're trying to
SMX
change,
champion.
like the
Yeah.
SMX holds more water.
Yep.
So that's what he's gunning.
which
for,
we've
I
talked
think.
about. Like this is the new generation. That's gonna be their thing. Where the old guard they couldn't give a shit less.
Yep.
It's just
So
more racist.
also, I don't know if you caught this. Maybe you caught it. I don't know. This is my pro flow mini moment of the race.
Bingo.
Deegan, comes through the sand section. There's that left-hander. He hits that left-hander, gets off balance, stands up on his right leg, like off balance with his left leg out to correct the bike.
Yeah.
And then by the time he's got the thing corrected, doesn't even put his leg back on the peg and just lays it into the single. I don't know.
Didn't catch it, but
it was
okay.
super impressive, dude.
Cool.
And I really want to find that clip right now to show you because you guys will both be like, damn, that's pretty impressive. It was just a small thing like that I noticed. I'm like, damn.
Now, I don't agree with you in the fact of saying he doesn't win this title. I think we got to get through next week before we say that because next week is the option to make up a lot of points. All it takes is him to yank
he's
a start.
13. He's 13 down with 2 to go, man.
Yeah,
like
but
even
we also
even
got all those other guys in there.
Yeah, but but what I'm saying is if he yanks a start, I could see him getting second behind Levi, and there are dudes that can be between him and Cam.
it also could completely go the other way. And
I
he
mean, it
gets a shit
could,
start.
but that's why I'm saying. That's why I think we have to get through next weekend before we can
I don't think
definitively
he wins
say.
It's perfect timing for one.
I still don't even think he beats Vial for the title. I think he makes up a lot of points because of what you're saying, but I don't agree with that, man. 13 with 2 to go, like that's a lot of points. Even
They
with
have
the East
3.
West. No, the East guys have. Oh, Philly.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they go Nashville, which is a
I keep forgetting we're going to Philly.
And then
So even
SLC.
even that Philly though is going back to a normal one. So even if he does get Cameron at worst goes back to second,
if he's within 5 going into Salt Lake City is going to be epic because he is going to be sawing off front wheels.
I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. It's a lot.
He'll saw a front wheel.
That's a lot of fucking points. It's just a lot of points, man.
He's going to have to lose points next week for him not to be.
I got this plan here. I want to
in it.
He easily could lose points next week.
I mean, he easily could. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just saying that with having this extra showdown here, that is the opportunity for guys to get in between because I do. But I mean, you also could take a go for. I don't know, man. Like we all know these East-West shootouts are fucking wild, but that would for that to happen, even if Deegan doesn't win and he gets second. I can't see Cameron just with this newfound attitude just melting down.
Yeah, I do want to get into McAdoo's new kind of deal.
I'm giving Deegan all the credit, dude. He fucking killed it last. He rode great last night. Yeah, I'm not saying
if he rode like that from the beginning of the season, like this would be a whole different.
I'm not saying
yes, we can't blame the injury.
I'm not saying one bad thing about him. He rode great, but 13 with 3 to go and against the other two guys that when you go back to the one race are probably at worst going to be second or third. And once again, we talk about all these guys that can get in the middle, but RJ and Joe and all those guys just as well too, with as inconsistent as they have been.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's gonna have to be like the most ridiculous
here's my counter
thing.
to that. Jet's given up 16 points in 2 weeks.
Deegan's not Jet. On the other side of that, like Jet, he's not Jet. Like that whole situation was totally like, I don't. Jet still, no. I don't see it. I don't see it, man.
It's not a high probability, but it's not impossible at this point.
Well, I mean, nothing is impossible.
I'm gonna go 60-40. He doesn't get it done, but there's still a lot of racing left.
I mean, there's still a chance to get it done, yes, but
I mean, even making up the gap to Vial is hard.
I don't think that's that hard either, dude. Because when you think the West guys are faster, right?
After seeing
the top 5 in West are faster.
I do, and the reason why I say that too is even with what Deegan did last night, the West guys, their intensity at the beginning of mains, I think is so much higher than Deegan, Vial, McAdoo, all those dudes. And that's why next week, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Like, we might not have an East guy on the podium. And that's not saying anything bad about even if Deegan rides like he did last night. It just might be the West guys, when they're performing to what we know them to do, they might just be that much better. Like, dude, we could have a situation where Smitty just, like, he gets 4th and he beats everybody on the East.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. Here's my thing. That's been your Deegan danger zone. I'm done talking about Deegan for this second.